Nestled in the heart of South America live descendants of a proud and ancient civilization. 10 million people live in a land more than 1.5 times the size of France. Bolivia covers more than 1 million square kilometers and has many ecozones, from the high Andean Altiplano to the rainforests of the Amazon, to the dry forests of the Chaco and the wetlands of the Pantanal. And all these ecosystems are threatened by climate change. Like everyone on Earth, the Bolivian people and the Bolivian government are concerned with human-induced climate change, and they have a lot to lose. The problem is that the economic incentive for a farmer to maintain forests intact is almost zero. Reducing emissions from deforestation and land degradation is a global priority, and getting this right is in everyone's interest. Various market mechanisms have been proposed, including RED. But Bolivia sees serious flaws in these mechanisms.
Y lamentablemente en el tema de bosques ocurrió lo propio, ¿no? Los bosques, que son una gran riqueza natural de nuestros países, de nuestros pueblos indígenas originarios, se convirtieron también en una oportunidad más para producir una serie inmensa dentro de este mecanismo de bonos, donde los países en desarrollo podrían adquirir bonos de conservación.
Our forests provides us water, provides food, provides life, biodiversity, provides elements in order to take care of health, provides elements in order to educate ourselves, because we learn of our forests, of the life of it, and we learn how to protect it, and also how to use the elements in a sustainable manner. That's our ideal, and that's how communities often live in forests. That means that forests are not only carbon stocks.
This isn't simply a feeling. There is scientific analysis that is backing up this position.
Well, there are two main results that we want to get out of mechanisms to reduce deforestation. One is reduce deforestation and emissions, but the other is to improve the livelihoods of the people, the local people that have to live with this mechanism. So in these two dimensions, we have found that RED, as originally conceived by the international community, is very efficient at reducing emissions, but it doesn't benefit the people on the ground.
Bolivia has something very important to contribute to the global climate discussions, and they deserve to be heard. They're offering the world a vision of how to achieve a sustainable future in harmony with nature.
We have two laws that are related to Mother Earth. The first one is the Law of Rights of Mother Earth, which was issued in 2010. And the second one is the Law of Mother Earth and Integral Development for Living Well, which was issued and approved in September of 2012.
They call the concept Vivir bien, or living well, and it boldly declares that the purpose of life is not the acquisition of material possessions, but instead is what was once called life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Vivir bien, or living well, is a concept which is emerging from the Andean mountains of South America, from Bolivia, Ecuador, and Peru. The concept recognizes that the global economy has not brought affluence to everyone. In fact, it's created huge amounts of pollution and degraded large areas of the planet. And what they're finding is that by simplifying their lives, they can have clean water, clean soil, healthy foods. They can have more time with their families and communities. And they have beautiful forest landscapes. Now what's interesting about this is that not only are their lives improved, but they are making a major contribution to mitigation and adaptation to climate change.
Vivir bien no significa vivir en pobreza, no significa no desarrollarse sosteniblemente. Vivir bien significa justamente estar en equilibrio. Y esa es justamente la filosofía con la cual hemos impulsado gran parte de nuestra política exterior, aquí desde la Cancillería, que se llama Diplomacia por la Vida.
Listening to the local people does make one consider the nature of wealth.
Como había dicho, respirando aire puro y manteniendo siempre el bosque, ¿no? Nunca nos va a flaquear la agua, ni va a cambiar el ambiente que tenemos, ¿no?
A plantar más plantitas, como por ejemplo plantas que producen muchas mieles, como por ejemplo árboles de madera, hichi, tajibo, otros árboles, nogal amarillo, mara, que están en peligro de extinción, de desaparecerse.
Engaging local people to protect the forest is both the goal internationally and locally, but only the local people can actually do it. One extremely important function of the forests is the natural regulation of the water cycle. Wherever you live on the earth, the quality and the quantity of the water downstream is determined by the ecological function upstream. In the living well concept, it's impossible to pollute or degrade these fundamental requirements for life. And it's not a sacrifice to conserve or protect or even improve these systems, because implicit in this concept is the knowledge that wealth and well-being don't come from production and consumption of goods and services. They come from living well. And that means that we can have a less tense, more fulfilling life for ourselves, and that future generations will inherit a fully intact earth. Learning how local people and local communities can protect the water is crucial.
Reciprocal arrangement means actually how we unify people in the different part of the watershed, people who are upstream and downstream, and work all together, create a local institution actually to manage the ecosystem services that is in this watershed. People understand that when they look after this forest, they don't look after just for biodiversity, they look after the water for drinking purpose and for the productive system too. Incentives to help the local farmers and communities understand and take responsibility for forest management have begun to show positive results. Downstream water users have agreed to pay additional fees that help to support the efforts of upstream communities to protect the water supply. Rather than imposing schemes on indigenous communities, developed half a world away and seemingly more in the benefit of international traders who wish to control financial flows than about the ecosystems or the needs of the people, the living well concept is at its heart about respect. Developing indigenous initiatives embraced by the local people and owned by the local communities. If we manage to implement a mechanism along the lines of that Bolivia is proposing, we could reduce deforestation dramatically and increase rural incomes by 50, 60, 70%, taking the vast majority of rural people out of poverty. For local communities and authorities, protecting the forest and their natural environment is not a theoretical exercise or an income stream. It is their home. For many, this has long been a way of life, and their commitment and accomplishments are there for all to see.
Hoy, con orgullo tengo que decir, las 3/4 partes de nuestro territorio municipal son área protegida. Pero no va por una simple decisión política y una disposición legal desde el gobierno municipal, fue una demanda de las bases desde el pueblo de decir, nosotros queremos conservar.
Bolivia is confronting some entrenched thinking by asking, what is wealth and well-being? And do we really need more years in negotiations when it is clear that local initiatives can immediately engage millions of people in protecting the Earth's natural systems? The Bolivians are showing that these participatory initiatives are capable and worthy of support.
We have a world which is full of diversity and colors, and the global level has to learn about this diversity, which is the richness of our planet, of our Mother Earth. And this is a big challenge, to interpret, to understand those voices of billions of peoples, of millions of communities, in order to support those projects of happiness, which are finally the goal of our life in this planet.